Chimera, spelt slightly differently to the TVR. And have you spotted what's different yet? It's down here. Instead of the single clutch 7-speed auto you got with the Agera, you've got a 6.
How about a manual transmission in a futuristic supercar? Forget limited editions. The Koenigsegg Chimera is one of a kind hypercar designed to exact specifications of FIA President Mohammed bin Sulayem. This isn't your typical vanity project. Will Koenigsegg be the new supercar company of the future? Koenigsegg has traditionally produced two-seat supercars and hypercars, but that is changing. In May 2023, Rimac declared that its all-electric Nevera hypercar had broken the previous 0-400 km/h record. The 1,888 horsepower EV finished the acceleration and deceleration race in 29.93 seconds, beating the hybridized Koenigsegg Regera. Of course, Koenigsegg wasn't having any of it, so late last year, it retrieved the Regera from cryosleep and recaptured the championship in 28.81 seconds. Now, the insane Jesko Absolute had finished even faster. The new world record for this performance is 27.83 seconds. Oh, and the incredibly slippery Absolute broke the new world records in the process. The 1,578 brake horsepower hypercar reached 0-400 km/h in 18.82 seconds, 0-250 mph in 28.27 seconds, and 0-250 mph in 19.20 seconds. Good grief. The Koenigsegg Agera RS, which set the world record for the fastest production car at 277.9 mph, is possibly the company's most well-known vehicle. The Hypercar, which debuted in 2015, produces 1,160 horsepower from its 5.0-liter V8 engine and uses a 7-speed dual-clutch semi-automatic transmission to give mind-blowing performance. But how could you improve an already amazing hypercar? Christian von Koenigsegg celebrated his 50th birthday last year without the customary champagne and midlife crisis stuff, instead revealing a completely new type of gearbox technology. Nobody parties like Koenigsegg, and rightfully so. Running on regular fuel, the engine produces a stunning 954 kW. However, when fed E85 biofuel, the output surges to a mind-blowing 1,193 kW. The Chimera, named after the fabled Greek beast of mixed ancestry, certainly embodied this moniker. 2022 saw the 20th anniversary of his company's first automobile. So for the occasion and his golden birthday, he reinvented the now rather timeless CC8S as the CC850, bringing it right up to date. For the first time in the company history, Koenigsegg will produce 3 distinct model lines by the end of the year: the Jesko, Chimera, and the CC850. Despite this, its engineers have found time to create and manufacture a one-of-a-kind vehicle known as the Chimera. It is built on an Agera RS, but incorporates components from the Jesko and the CC850. And we mean bang, it has the same underpinning as the Jesko, with Koenigsegg's own 5.0-liter twin-turbo V8 producing 1,363 brake horsepower and a ton of torque. However, the engine is a known quantity. What about the gearbox? Take a deep breath. Based on the company's light-speed transmission and the branded Engage shift system, the comparatively lightweight and compact machine, weighing only 90 kg and roughly the same size as the standard 6-speed gearbox, contains 3 sets of compound gears, each having 3 ratios. For a total of 9, it eliminates the usual flywheel and clutch between the engine and gearbox. But you don't want to have 9 forward gears, Koenigsegg told Top Gear. They explained that would be too confusing, with 6 for forward motion and 9 gears to choose from. The gear ratios in track mode differ from those in normal and comfort. That's right, the ratios vary based on the mode you select. Select the track mode, and the first is actually 3rd gear. You're not going to be stuck in a traffic jam, so it's like a tall gear in a race car, Koenigsegg explained, with the other 2 to 6 gears relatively closely spaced for whip-crack acceleration. This car is a speed monster. The 1st gear in normal mode begins in the 2nd of the 9 gears, because 1st is super short in 9 speed, while the 2nd gear is actually the 4th of the 9, which perfectly matches the 2nd gear in a regular 6-speed manual, and then it's a little more openly spread from there. Yeah, it does sound complex. Are you keeping up with all these numbers? It's the first manual with different gear ratios, and that is possible because there is no mechanical link from front to back. There is sort of a direct hydraulic link from the clutch pedal to the clutches. There are 6 clutches, but when you move the clutch pedal, it's exactly 1-to-1 pressure on these clutches as you use in manual. What an innovation! In practice and execution, it's just an open-gated manual hiding in a vast network of clutches and gear sets and programming and a generous sprinkling of actual witchcraft to provide a feel of a classic manual. Indeed, Koenigsegg claims that the clutch feels completely natural to the point where you can stop, jump, or even execute a tremendous burnout with your fists. The gearbox is very complex, so if you shift quickly, you get the impression that the synchros are pulling against you, and you have to push harder. Similarly, if you push the clutch forcefully, it becomes slightly heavier owing to inertia. If the mood strikes, you can simply move the lever all the way to the right and down, and it transforms into a 9-speed automatic. If you are fast aware of this mood, just sling it back and move up and down the level of your delight. Koenigsegg has been working on the gearbox for nearly 2 years, and the one displayed during Monterrey's 2022 Car Week was the first pre-production iteration. This will be updated to the most recent manufacturing specs in a year or so. It is a sample. Then we move to the B sample, followed by the C sample, and finally production, Koenigsegg commented. But overall, it's a very good starting point. Only 50 production CC850 units will be constructed, and all of them have already been sold. Even this first pre-production prototype has been taken. Christian is keeping it for himself. It's his birthday after all. What about aesthetic? The Agera RS body, initially made of magnificent blue-tinted carbon fiber with brown leather inside, remains the base. Koenigsegg added a useful and elegant touch with a new carbon fiber roof scooped like a shark fin. This not only improved the car's appearance but also its high-speed cooling and stability. Minor changes included replacing the black brake calipers with silver ones. The Chimera keeps the Agera RS bucket seats and features an improved smart cluster infotainment system. A modest Chimera embroidery on the passenger dash provides a personal touch. The actual party trick is in the transmission. Unlike the CC850, the Chimera features both a gated shifter and a paddle shifter behind the wheel. This gives Sulayem the most options: the smooth 9-speed automatic, the thrilling 6-speed manual, or the comfort of paddle shifters. All of these modifications have resulted in significant weight loss. The Chimera's curb weight is supposedly at 1,220 kg, which is 200 kg less than the Jesko's curb weight of 1,420 kg. With this increased power output and lighter weight, we'd be curious to see what speeds Chimera could achieve in contrast to the conventional Agera RS. Regardless of top-end performance, there is no denying that Koenigsegg's aftermarket team has built the most raw, visceral, and compelling Koenigsegg to drive the company's 30-year existence. Like the rest of the world, the FIA chairman was intrigued by this unique technology, and as a wealthy rare egg collector, he requested that it be incorporated into his particular Agera-based project. Christian pondered this and eventually agreed to grant the request, transforming Ben Sulayem's special edition into something of a development mule for the EES, according to a video by YouTuber and Koenigsegg distributor Mr. JWW. The development process took 3 years and included battery relocation, new powertrain mounts, new harnesses, new software and controllers, and even a new infotainment system. It was difficult to ensure that all of the electronics worked together well, but Ben Sulayem requested that paddle shifters be included, similar to those found in the Jesko Absolute and Jesko Attack. A new scoop of the new transmission cooler was also installed, but it appears to have been planned all along. Christian von Koenigsegg claims that this is a true one-of-a-kind, stating that it would be cheaper and easier to start something entirely new from scratch than to blend new and old technologies again, and that tackling a retrofit project is simply too much work. The Chimera is not quite finished because there are still minute components to improve, such as the bite point of the clutch pedal, but these minor difficulties will undoubtedly be replaced pretty soon. It is an incredible feat to combine 3 hypercars into one, and we can't imagine how Koenigsegg will beat this in the future. But we have no doubts that Christian and his crew will continue to do so. The Chimera is a perfect example of how, if you have an open checkbook, practically anything is feasible in the world of hypercars. Do you consider Koenigsegg the king of all supercars? If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and be sure to explore our other contents. Subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. We look forward to sharing more contents with you soon.